Cronin Toyota and Cronin Nissan are honored to partner with Proudly We Served, as well as the continued support of our local active and retired military veterans across eastern Indiana.
I'm Al Bledsoe, Veterans of Foreign War, Post 1108.
I'm Ron Chappell, chaplain for the Vietnam Veterans 777 here in the city of Richmond. And our guest today is Brian Rhea.
That's it.
All right. And he's no stranger to the program. He's been here before, and it's got a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah. So Brian, why don't you fill us in on the brochure that we've got with us?
Yeah, it looks like you're putting us to work here.
So
Hey, that's the
it looks
idea.
like you give us some to pass out. So
It's your homework assignment.
yeah, why don't you fill us in on what you're doing and bring us up to date?
We have the 9th annual Eastern Indiana Veterans Resource Fair and Hiring event. Will take place October 20th from 2 to 6 p.m. out at the Wayne County Fairgrounds in the Raper Center. And this will be the 9th annual event. We've had, the last 2 years, we've done an online version because of the pandemic and everything. And this year we're going back to a live event.
Excellent.
We'll have resource providers that could be anything from county veteran service officers to the Dayton VA. Indiana Legal Services is coming, be able to give some options to the veterans in the area. And then we'll also have employers that will be attending the event. The employers, the key for them, they can only come to the event if they're actually hiring people. Currently, we've had the registration open for 2 weeks. We've got a little over 50 different vendors signed up so far.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
It's about 50-50 distribution between the resource providers and the employers. The big thing that we want to get out is this is not just a Wayne County event. This is the Eastern Indiana Veterans Resource Fair and Hiring event. We have employers, I just checked the registrations this morning. We've got employers coming from Muncie, Portland, Rushville, Newcastle, plus several from Wayne County. So we're not just wanting to hit Wayne County as far as people coming to the event. We want people from all over Eastern Indiana to come.
Right.
So how do we get that word out to all of you? You know, I know you personally
you
go
and I
around
gonna
and talk to people. Yeah, and
We're gonna be
passing
watching
out
the
brochures.
The big thing is we'll do a lot of brochure dropping, but the biggest part of this event is our media partner. Whitewater Broadcasting has been with us for probably about 6 years now.
Yeah.
And they have 5 radio stations in Eastern Indiana, and they'll be running spots on all 5 of those stations. I've also will be putting this out, social media all over the place. Obviously, that's where everybody's at now, so we'll be doing a heavy social media drop on the event. But really, Whitewater Broadcasting, without them, this event would not be what it is.
Now you said 50 vendors, so that's 50 people or companies or agencies where someone could possibly get a job.
Now, the 50 vendors is the resource providers and the employers. Right now, we got about 25 employers.
Okay, well, that's good.
The last time we did this event live, we had over 100 vendors sign up and show up, which is about 60 resource providers and 40 employers. And there are, you know, some of these employers, they're going to be hiring on the spot.
Yeah, yeah.
So the biggest thing before the event that the veterans need to do, if they're looking for a job, is they need to get out that resume and make sure it's good to go. And if they're not sure that resume is what it needs to be before the event, they need to get a hold of me, and I'll help them get that resume ready.
All right.
You know, that's, you know, just one of the few things we do in the Work One offices is, you know, help people get their resumes ready.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys got a nice office too. I was out to therapy the other day. I saw the building and what they were doing and everything, but I didn't realize who was
Now,
in
where
there.
is it at? Tell me where it's at.
We're at 2330 National Road West.
2330.
It's right
National
next to
Road
the
West.
PACE Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Space Center, cutting edge therapy.
The Reed Hospital.
Yes.
Pace.
Yes.
Okay.
It's nice and spacious.
That's a big area, too.
Yep, and
that's
the
good.
office is open 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. The one exception is Thursday morning. The office doesn't open till 10 o'clock.
What kind of employers are looking for people? What kind of jobs are
We
out
have
there?
a wide range of employers so far. A lot of healthcare. I know Reed's coming, Rush Memorial Hospital's coming, Henry County Memorial Hospital's coming.
Oh, wow.
So with a lot of healthcare, a lot of manufacturers. We'll have a wide variety. We also have the Indiana State Police are coming to recruit. So there's a statewide organization. I'm hoping to hear back. The state of Indiana's personnel department has come in the past. They haven't registered yet, but I'm hoping to get them in because there are state jobs all over the state that need to be filled.
Right. So what about the child of a veteran? This particular guy I know, his father was a vet, passed on, and he's probably he's about 40, 41, something like that. Would he be a possible?
The event's
Fit for
mainly drilled towards the veterans.
Okay.
Spouses, family members, I'm open to them coming in. But the main focus is we want to do veterans.
Right, I understand that.
Because we've kind of gone away, a lot of hiring events we used to have would do like the first hour for veterans. I haven't seen that as much after the pandemic. So we really want to do an event that's geared towards the veterans.
But the dependent or
Yeah,
could come.
dependent, yes, they more than welcome to come.
Okay, good.
That's the people you're working with, the veteran community. That's some of the hardest people there is to get them to come to an event. You see them out socially or something like that, but as far as like coming to an event, that's hard to do. I mean, that's because I know working with the parade. We have the Veterans Parade coming up, and go through the same thing. Getting people involved, especially the younger ones, if we could do that, because pretty soon somebody's going to cash out and say, I can't do this any longer. And so we need younger guys, especially at these hiring events. I think it's a great program.
Well, the big thing is we need everybody, all the veterans, to understand this is like a one-stop shop, this event.
Right.
This is the largest veteran type event in this part of the state. And if you can come here and look at possible employment opportunities, find out about what VA healthcare you're entitled to, find out about education benefits, because Ivy Tech, IU East will both be there. Just everything that they could need to learn about is going to be in one place. They don't have to drive to Indianapolis to learn about this, Cincinnati to learn about that, Dayton to learn about this.
Right.
Everything's going to be right here. And then once they make that initial connection, they can follow up.
That's good. I mean, to me, it would be a win-win for a veteran if I don't know how many veterans we have out there looking for jobs. I know, like at our place, we've got 5 or 6 veterans now working. And if we can just keep them working, I mean, they go up the ladder pretty quick out there. So, and they're really, and actually the veterans are some of the best people when it comes to showing up on time. And, they're all about that.
Right.
The time and the work ethic and stuff like that.
Beat it into you,
Exactly.
Do we have any idea of the number of veterans in our area?
In Wayne County, the last time I looked, it's around 5,500.
Wow.
Up in Muncie, about 8,500. Fayette County was a little over 2,000. Even Union County, as small as it is, has 500 and some veterans in it.
So this is open to all of those?
Oh, yes.
Wow, wow.
All, this is, like I said earlier, this is the Eastern Indiana event. It's not just, Wayne County, not just Richmond. In the past, we've had veterans come from as far away as just south of Fort Wayne have come down to attend this event.
Wow.
And,
Goodness.
and you were talking, a couple minutes ago about, how many veterans are looking for work. Just got the latest national unemployment rate for veterans is 2.4%. State of Indiana's unemployment rate for everybody is 3.5%. So we're still way down there. A lot of times we have more jobs than people looking right now. The thing is employers are looking for specific skill sets and they're having trouble finding those skill sets. Well, one of the things that, this event and with the Work One offices is Governor Holcomb's next level agenda. One of those is training for jobs.
All right.
So they can come and learn about that. That's something that's a big push right now because the employers are really looking for certain skill sets, but they're not finding those in the individuals that come in and apply for the jobs.
So if you come in and you apply for the job, but you don't have that particular skill, will that employer offer you the opportunity to get training? Or?
The employer won't do it. Most cases. Now there are, some companies out there that are looking for CDL drivers. They'll provide the training and pay them while they do the training.
Right.
And get, and guarantee them a position when they finish the training.
Right.
But, more your manufacturers and stuff, those type people need to go out and come into the Work One office, learn about the next level programs. Ivy Tech does a lot of that training. Go and, a lot of it, they won't have to pay for it if they qualify. So they can get that training and then go back and apply for that job and go to work.
See, that's why I'm thinking about the family member of a veteran, or deceased veteran, or a veteran, that they could maybe be or have an opportunity to get that training or be in that group, focus group, to get the employment of it.
Yeah. The biggest thing is anybody that's looking for work or looking for training, get into the Work One offices.
Yeah.
And learn about what opportunities are available to you. A lot of people, they just get frustrated.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get this training, or I don't know what type of training I need. Get into the Work One offices where we can sit down with you one-on-one and find out what your skills are now.
Right.
And what you want to do, and hopefully we can come up with a program to fit that individual.
Wow. So really, there's no reason for anyone who's looking for a job to not be able to get a job.
They should be able to get the job. There's always going to be barriers. Specifically with my job position, that's what I'm here for, is to help a veteran overcome significant barriers to employment.
Right.
That's my job, is to assist them in overcoming whatever barrier they may have to find an employment.
Well, what about veterans with disabilities?
That's one of those significant barriers to employment. That's one of those things that I help them overcome. If it's a disability issue, it's just about finding an accommodation that will fit them and an employer that will provide that accommodation.
Yeah. That's a pretty good opportunity.
Yeah. If the big thing I think is just being able to draw that young veteran. I think it's a great event. It's just getting people fired up, if you will, to come to it.
Well, and the one thing we've done this year is, in the past, we've always ran the event from 10 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. That kind of prevented somebody who was working first shift that maybe is looking for that better opportunity or that better job from attending and finding this stuff out. So this year, that's why we moved the event from 2 to 6 p.m.
Sure.
That way,
Good idea.
those people that work first shift, when they get off, they can come out and investigate all the opportunities out there. And those who work second shift can get out there when we first start, get through there, and get to work.
Hey, here's a good piece here. It says refreshments.
That's our media
I'll be
partner.
there.
Light
I'll be there.
refreshment.
Light Refreshments.
I'll be there.
Our media partner over there at Whitewater Broadcasting's working on that. That's one of his tasks.
Yeah. And free haircuts.
Yes. As in the past, PJ's College of Cosmetology is coming back, and they're going to be doing free haircuts at the event. And they also, and a lot of people may not know this, but out there, their locations out on the east side, they do free haircuts every Wednesday afternoon for veterans.
What?
There you go.
I don't want my barber to hear this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm all about, I'm all about free. You throw the word free in front of me, and as long as it's something good.
Those are good things, though, that attract veterans. And, I've found that I'm finding out more and more, the more you have that contact with that person, the more you can communicate and talk, and then you eventually, if you will, try to build a bridge there where they know they can come to you if they need something. That's kind of that's what you got to do. And I think these things that you're doing like this is just, it's invaluable, especially, just thinking back when I was a kid, when I come home from Nam, if we'd had something like this, where you could go to look for a job, rather than just, if you will, calling people and trying to set up an interview, you could go to a place like this, and they could do all that legwork coming in. All you'd have to do is maybe a final interview or something.
So maybe somewhat how, and I've said this before, the out processing centers for our veterans when they're coming home, this kind of information needs to be made available.
Well, I think that's where you just hit on. I think that's where the dumb thing is, that they're just not doing that. That somehow when the guy gets out, he's taken off someplace where he don't have these programs right in front of him. That's just a guess, but I can tell by talking to some of the younger veterans, nobody said anything to them about anything. So that's telling me we got a link there that we need to fill that void.
Right.
And the state of Indiana is doing a better job of reaching out to veterans and inviting them to come to Indiana when they get out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
We've got InVets as an organization here in Indiana. They travel to a lot of the different military bases throughout the country and promote veterans coming back to Indiana.
Oh, wow.
And they do have some incentives to try to draw them here, which is what we need to do.
Sure. Well, we have to have something that'll keep them interested enough that they'll come in at. And I think the more contact we have with them, the more things that you do as far as outreach and stuff like that, that's so important that you get that, because, it's the clubs and just all through all of it, it's just.
We just got a
difficult.
new tool at work a couple of months ago that it's a virtual client engagement system where basically any veteran that files for unemployment, because that's one of the questions, are you a veteran? Well, now I get every Monday the veterans that in my area that have filed for unemployment, I see who they are. So I can reach out to them and do some outreach and see if there's something I can do to help them. So, like right now, I've got in the 5-county area I cover, I've got about almost 100 that are in there. It's just a matter of making that connection.
Wow.
And I get the option. I can email, I can call, I can text. With all this technology we have now, I've got several different ways I can try to contact somebody. Now, are they all going to reach back out to me? No. But if just one does, and I can help them, I've done,
Yeah, that's a good way to. Yeah, that's a good.
Well, depending on that person's service experience, he or she might not feel comfortable yet stepping out. We're dealing with some psychological issues, as a result of service. So
And see, that's where, you know, I get a lot of, I won't say a lot. I get some veterans that will reach out to me wanting to know about benefits and things like that.
Right.
That's where the relationship with the county veteran service officers come in. You know, like with Ron here in Wayne County now. If I have somebody that wants to learn about benefits, I know enough about them to be dangerous. But I'm going to send them to the subject matter expert and refer them to Ron. Same happens there. If Ron has somebody come into his office that's looking for employment, he's going to take care of whatever he can on his end, but he's going to refer them to me to help find employment.
Right. For point of clarification, that's Ron Whittig.
Yeah. Yeah, not this Ron.
Not this Ron.
Yeah, it's a service officer.
Praise God.
I didn't realize it worked that way, but that's good. I mean, that's
Well,
all good.
I've got relationships with, you know, not only county veteran service officers, but, you know, different resource providers that have different things that can help veterans, and they do the same thing. If, you know, somebody comes to them, they need help finding employment, they refer them to me. You know, it's doing this for 13 years now, you know, I've developed a lot of relationships. So.
Yeah. So the 5 counties, do you go to the service officers when you go to those counties, or do you just
A lot of times I just keep in contact by phone or email. Now, if I'm, you know, in Connorsville, you know, like their county veteran service officer, his day's pretty well locked in. He's got appointments the whole time. So I'm not going to go in there and cut somebody out of their appointment time, you know, by going there. But, you know, we talk. It's basically, you know, as needed, you know.
Sure.
You know, I've got 4 offices, you know, physical offices that I can go to. So, you know, if I have a veteran in Rushville that needs help, they don't have to come to Richmond.
Okay.
I go to the office in Rushville and meet with them. The only county that I have that I serve that doesn't have a physical work one office is Union County. So if I go down there, I can meet them. I can meet them at the American Legion post. I can meet them at the library. You know, I'm going to make it to where, you know, it's easy for them to get to me.
Yeah.
If, you know, meeting in person is difficult, I can do it over the phone. Or I can do a little Zoom meeting or whatever. You know, so with all the technology we have and everything, you know, getting to a veteran is not an issue.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've knocked out all the barriers.
Trying to do the best we can.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I think just that connection, that opening connection or that first connection is so important. He's real visible. I mean, around here, Wayne County he is.
I'm hard to miss.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're just about out of time. I think we want to say a few words about our brother who's just passed on. As Brian mentioned, Ron Whittig replaced Pete McDaniel, who was the Wayne County Veteran Service Officer. And Pete got called home here a few weeks ago, and we had his funeral last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Week? Yeah.
2 weeks ago Sunday.
Yeah. So we wanted to say something in memory of Pete.
Well, I think that the biggest thing to remember about Pete was his overwhelming personality. I know in my case, he's been good to help me with things. He's helped a couple of friends of mine that really had some inroad type problems. And not speaking of Cronin a lot, but he had a really good relationship with all the people at Cronin. Very important. And to Pete if he walked into Cronin now, everybody would know him. I mean, he's just kind of a guy.
You knew Pete, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I worked
But
a
really,
lot with Pete.
really a great guy, and just, you know, now he was kind of one of those guys, his way or the highway.
Yeah,
And he's a Marine, so,
yeah.
you know, that's,
he let you know that.
He let you
asked
know
me,
that, so.
He said, Ron, do you know what Army means? Ain't ready for Marines yet. That's okay, brother.
but he, you know, he served well with the fire department and the service office.
And I'm Pete McDaniel, Wayne County Veterans Service Officer. But within the VA and medical conditions and benefits, there's some stuff that is cut and dry, but the majority of the stuff goes on an individual basis. My veterans, they've been in, they're recently getting out. They've got 5 years of VA medical service.
You know, and a lot of it's in your head, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that. My wife might be
Yeah,
listening.
come on.
Hey, let me touch you. Let me put my hands on. I'll heal you, baby.
As you can see, Pete's very versatile in what he does, but let me ask you, Pete, just a little bit of what's going on a little bit. To give us Pete, tell us what's going on with your place.
Oh, nothing much other than we are picking up the Military Family Relief Fund. We are getting a little bit more applications, and that's for, it's like a veterans in need type deal. If say like wintertime comes along and your heat bills are high and you can't seem to get your heat bills paid and you're an honorably discharged veteran, you can apply to the state, and it comes, because everybody understands when you get in these fixed care facilities, they're very expensive. They provide great care and a much needed care for the veterans and widows, but on the same side of that, they still have to be paid, and it's very, very expensive.
Is VA paying for that?
They'll pay a pension depending on income and assets, and more
nothing.
times than not.
I got nothing. I got no
right.
money. I got no money.
And next year, when I got to put you in a facility, you'll get some assistance.
Okay.
So if you're,
And at the end of the day, I have family members come in and cancel VA benefits for veterans because it kicks them out of Medicaid, whereas Medicaid will pay for everything. If they get the VA benefit, now they do not qualify for that. Hopefully didn't get a hold of me.
Yeah, hopefully
and
you'll
long
get
and
it.
short of it is, the VA's not going, and where we get into, a lot of our younger veterans, they'll be entitled to VA benefits simply because the VA gives them all 5 years of VA coverage immediately after their discharge. Yeah. Just remind you, it is your responsibility to get us those records. Yeah. And they say, if we ain't got a response in 2 weeks, we're moving on.
Cronin Toyota and Cronin Nissan are honored to partner with Proudly We Served, as well as the continued support of our local active and retired military veterans across eastern Indiana.